Hello everyone. Today we're going to take a look at some of the strangest borders in the world. Borders, those invisible lines that crisscross our planet, often speak to the complexities of history, geography, and human relationships. Sometimes these borders are so peculiar, so unexpected, that it's almost impossible to understand them without delving into the remarkable stories they hold. From islands shared by two nations to barely their boundaries and disputed territories, the world is full of borders that defy easy explanation. Join me as we embark on a journey to uncover the captivating stories behind these unusual dividing lines. So, let's start exploring these unusual and interesting borders. Our first stop takes us to the English Channel, where we encounter a cluster of islands caught in a fascinating geographical and cultural tapestry. These are the Channel Islands, closer to France than to England, yet fiercely independent and tied to the British Crown. The Channel Islands have been linked to England since the Norman conquest of 1066. This historical quirk has resulted in a unique blend of English and French influences on the islands. The islanders have their own parliaments and legal systems distinct from both England and France. They are self-governing crown dependencies owing allegiance to the British monarch but not considered part of the United Kingdom. Adding to the intrigue, the islanders speak a variety of languages including English, French, and even a Norman dialect called Jerriais in Jersey and Guernesey in Guernsey. The streets of St. Helier in Jersey and St. Peter Port in Guernsey echo with a fascinating blend of these tongues. Life on the Channel Islands offers a glimpse into a world where national identities intertwine, creating a rich cultural mosaic. So as we bid adieu to these fascinating islands, we're reminded that borders can sometimes be more than just lines on a map. We now journey to the Arabian Peninsula, a land of vast deserts, ancient trade routes, and complex geopolitical boundaries. Here, nestled between the towering dunes and shimmering coastlines, lies a border unlike any other. The border between the United Arab Emirates and Oman. This border is a jigsaw puzzle of enclaves and exclaves, a testament to the region's intricate history. Within the UAE you'll find pockets of Omani territory, and within Oman you'll discover enclaves belonging to the UAE. One such intriguing enclave is Mada, an Omani territory entirely surrounded by the UAE. This complex border arrangement is rooted in tribal allegiances and historical agreements, dating back to a time before the formation of the modern nation-states. Navigating this border can be a fascinating experience, crossing back and forth between the UAE and Oman multiple times within a short distance. The UAE and Oman have managed to maintain cordial relations despite the complexities of their shared border. The two countries cooperate closely on matters of trade, security, and cultural exchange, proving that even the most intricate boundaries can be managed peacefully. As we leave the Arabian Peninsula, we carry with us the image of a border that defies geographic simplicity. Our exploration of unusual borders takes us now to the towering peaks of the Himalayas, where India and China share a border shrouded in mist, legend, and political tension. This border is not always clearly defined on the ground, marked by rugged terrain, glacial rivers, and disputed territories. The Himalayas have long served as a natural barrier between India and China, but the lack of clear demarcation in certain areas has led to disputes and military standoffs. Adding to the complexity are the nomadic communities that have traversed these mountains for centuries, indifferent to the political boundaries drawn on maps. The disputed territory of Aksai Chin, a high-altitude desert claimed by both India and China, has been a major point of contention. Despite the challenges, both India and China have engaged in dialogue and confidence-building measures to maintain peace along the border. Joint military exercises and border meetings have helped to foster communication and reduce the risk of misunderstandings. The India-China border serves as a stark reminder that borders are not always static lines on a map. Our journey now takes us to the heart of the Himalayas, to the Kingdom of Bhutan, a land of soaring peaks, pristine forests, and ancient monasteries. Here Bhutan shares a border with its giant neighbor to the north, China, a border defined by the very geography that makes this region so breathtaking. The Bhutan-China border is not one marked by fences, checkpoints, or customs officials. Instead, it's the towering Himalayas themselves that form the natural boundary between these two nations. This natural barrier has, for centuries, limited interaction between Bhutan and China. Disagreements over the demarcation of certain areas have led to diplomatic tensions between Bhutan and China. The Doklam standoff in 2017 highlighted the potential for conflict even in this remote and inaccessible region. Despite these challenges, Bhutan and China have made efforts to resolve their border issues through dialogue and diplomacy. The two countries have held numerous rounds of border talks, seeking a peaceful and mutually acceptable solution. The Bhutan-China border stands as a testament to the power of nature to shape human geography. Our exploration of unusual borders now takes us to North America, to the world's longest undefended border, stretching for over 5,500 miles from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific. This is the border between the United States and Canada, a testament to the enduring friendship and cooperation between these two North American neighbors. Imagine driving for hours, even days along this border, and encountering only the occasional border marker or customs post. There are no towering walls, no barbed wire fences, no heavily armed guards, just the open expanse of fields, forests, and waterways, shared peacefully by two nations. This spirit of cooperation is evident in the many towns and cities that straddle the border. Take, for example, the town of Darbyline, Vermont, and Stansted, Quebec. Here, the border runs right through the middle of town with buildings, even a library, situated on both sides. Residents cross back and forth with ease, their lives intertwined despite the national boundary. The United States and Canada have demonstrated that it's possible to maintain a secure border while fostering a spirit of cooperation and friendship. As we leave the United States and Canada, we're reminded that borders don't always have to be symbols of division and distrust. Our journey now takes us to southern Africa, to the banks of the Zambezi River, where we encounter one of the world's shortest international borders, the border between Namibia and Zambia. This border, a mere sliver of land, measures a mere 150 meters in length, barely the length of a city block. It's a border so small it's often overlooked on maps, yet it represents a fascinating geographical quirk. This miniature border is located at the confluence of the Zambezi and Chobe rivers, a point where four countries, Namibia, Zambia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe, almost meet. The shortness of the border doesn't diminish its importance. It serves as a vital link between Namibia and Zambia, facilitating trade and cultural exchange between these two southern African nations. The border crossing itself is a modest affair, consisting of a small building and a handful of officials. The Namibia-Zambia border is a reminder that size isn't everything when it comes to international boundaries. Our exploration of unusual borders takes us to the Aegean Sea, where we encounter a border shaped by a long history of intertwined cultures and rivalries. This is the border between Greece and Turkey, two nations with a shared past and a present marked by both cooperation and tension. Imagine standing on the shores of the Aegean, the crystal-clear waters lapping at your feet and gazing across the horizon at the distant coastline. The islands scattered across the sea, some belonging to Greece, others to Turkey, serve as a constant reminder of the intertwined destinies of these two nations. The border between Greece and Turkey is not merely a line on a map, it represents centuries of cultural exchange, population movements, and shifting political landscapes. In border towns and villages, people on both sides often speak both Greek and Turkish, their lives intertwined by family ties, trade, and shared traditions. The Aegean Sea itself, once a barrier separating these two cultures, now serves as a bridge, connecting Greece and Turkey through trade, tourism, and cultural exchange. The relationship between Greece and Turkey, however, has not always been smooth sailing. Despite these challenges, Greece and Turkey have recognized the importance of dialogue and cooperation. Our final stop on this exploration of unusual borders takes us to South America, to the edge of the Amazon rainforest, where we encounter a border marked by historical disputes and territorial claims. This is the border between Venezuela and Guyana, a source of tension and uncertainty. Imagine a vast expanse of rainforest, its lush canopy stretching as far as the eye can see, its depths teeming with life. The border dispute plays out against this backdrop, rooted in colonial-era claims and the quest for resources. The discovery of oil reserves has heightened the stakes. The Venezuela-Guyana border serves as a reminder that the legacy of colonialism continues to cast a long shadow. And that wraps up our look at some of the strangest borders in the world. We've journeyed across continents, from islands shared by two nations to borders defined by mountain ranges and rivers. We've seen how history, geography, and culture have all played a role in shaping these unusual boundaries. These borders, far from being mere lines on a map, represent complex human stories. They speak of cooperation and conflict, of shared heritage and cultural exchange, of the challenges and opportunities of living in an interconnected world. If you want to see more unusual topics like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Goodbye.